You said in an interview that when you were 18 months, you were dropped off at an apartment complex building. Talk about that.
Yeah, when I was born, I was actually born a baby. So I was in the hospital on a ventilator, for a while before eventually I was, released, to my biological mother. And me and my older brother, we was left in an apartment in Compton. And we was there for like 3-4 days. And
by yourselves?
Just us. I was a baby still, and people kept hearing, a baby cry. And eventually Children's Services and the authorities, bammed on the door. And when nobody answered, then they, came in. And they took us and they separated us. They took me, to a temporary foster home, and took my brother to a temporary foster home. And his mom, because I don't call her my mom, Miss Price is my mom, God bless her soul, rest in peace, who adopted me. So, but my biological mother, she went back and got my brother, never came back and got me. So Miss Price, when she took me in, her home was like temporary. She had foster kids. Okay. So her home was one of those homes, no matter what time of the night it is.
I've been to one.
If kids get snatched,
they get like some type of permit to have a lot of kids, and then they got to care for them, and then
all that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was took there, and Miss Price, she loved me, man, and she used to tell me how when she first got me, like 90% of my body was covered in eczema.
From the
just not being took care of.
Okay.
And
what is that?
It's like
a rash,
skin disease.
Yeah. And I remember when they used to tie socks on my hand when I was like 2-3 years old, because I used to scratch till I bleed.
I've seen that done.
From just having scabs. And she said it was like over 90% of my body, and she cured me. She got rid of it.
Fire.
Dang, that's.
Was she a white lady?
No, she was black.
She was a black.
She was from Gladewater, Texas. Oh yeah, she told me how she used to, pick cotton with her mom.
That's crazy,
yeah,
right?
We still got land in Gladewater, Texas, like 88 acres.
Oh man, that's dope.
Oh yeah.
So she raised you, and obviously all that went through like the state or whatever the process is.
Birth certificate, modified, everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So did you take the last name?
Yes, I took their last name.
That's dope, man. I got a lot. I'm not like making it about me, but I kind of grew up like that too, dog. On my sister's foster care, like I know the whole thing.
Yes.
When you don't got the right parents and stuff like that. So.
Well, mine was junkies.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel you.
She loved more than she loved me. And my brother, and me and my older brother. I talk about my life and my music. And we don't get along because I talk about my life and my music.
Yeah.
And I met her, my biological mother, on my 13th birthday. Her and my brother came to Miss Price's house. And I remember Miss Price came in the room and, said, somebody's here to see you.
At 13?
At 13 years old, okay. Yeah. So when I come out the room, I'm looking, I don't know who she is, but my brother, we damn near look like twins, but he's like maybe... I'm 55, so he should be like 60, 61 now.
Okay.
And, talked to him. She let me leave with him. They brought me back, but I went and met other family members. I met aunties and people that I'd never known, that I grew up on the west side of Compton, and all these years, they still lived on the east side of Compton.
So they were like down the street?
Right, yeah, pretty much down the street. So, I met aunties and cousins and, all that. I found out I had a younger brother that I used to always try to go see, my little brother. But eventually, my older brother got in his head and, brainwashed him. Oh, he talk about our mom. That ain't your brother.
Your music, yeah.
But I mean, I'm speaking the real. I'm not lying. Right. This will really happen. Like, how you avoiding that? And then I found out I had a little sister that stayed in LA, because I finally met my real father for the first time. And this happened when I was 22. When I met this dude, and they told me where he lived. I went over there because I wanted to go see my little sister and meet her. She was 11 at the time. And I can remember meeting this dude, man, and it was a trip to me, because the first thing this dude said was, pull your pants up. Like, man, I'll beat the brakes off you. You don't even know me. You know, I'm here to see Lynette. That's pretty much it. You know, and I got a brother, Frankie, who he was in prison, you know, and we always communicated, you know, during the whole time. He did like 19 years in prison. But, you know, we stay in contact. We're in contact right now to this day.
You didn't want to, like, get to know your father?
I mean, no. You didn't want to get to know me. I remember I was abandoned.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Was your mother, your official mother and father together when you were abandoned?
I mean, I don't know. I was, you know, I was a baby.
Yeah.
You know, I might have been an accident. Yeah. You know, they probably had me on some getting high off coke sex. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So you never wanted to carry the legacy last name?
He's not a legacy. My legacy was Miss Price.
Miss Price.
Yeah. He was never a legacy to me. He was nothing to me. I didn't even know this dude. I'm 22.
Yeah.
I don't even know you.
Yeah.
You know, she passed eventually and he passed. And, you know, I remember going to his funeral and, you know, I'm seeing people crying and things. And to me, it just, there was no remorse and no nothing.
Yeah.
You know, even when I, you know, looked at him in the casket, it's like, I feel like I walked into a stranger's funeral.